Back-to-school shopping can be easy and affordable if you know where to look.
Here with the best back-to-school tips, consumer saving expert Andrea Warrock. Andrea, good morning.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Say they don't have to go back to school.
I know, that would be easy for all of us, right?
I can't believe it.
But
so how come make it easy and affordable?
Of course. So lots of retailers know that parents are rushing deals. What I recommend doing is looking at store circulars on your phone or online to plan your shopping trip. Stores like Staples offer really awesome deals on their store brand products. So you're looking at 1-cent notebooks, 50-cent pack of crayons, and even their name brand products are really cheap as long as you price it
like
right. This one, 97 cents for the Crayola marker pack. So again, just compare those prices. And right now through today, they're offering a promotion where you buy a backpack, you get an additional 20% off your entire purchase.
I like that.
And they have a 110% price guarantee. So if you see that a competitor is offering a cheaper price, just present it to the store manager and they can offer you that.
What's different about kids now and our upbringing is technology. We didn't deal with this.
Right? I mean, elementary school kids need tech. They need tablets and laptops and maybe even smartphones for some of those kids.
Maybe.
This Lenovo is a 2-in-1 laptop that turns into a tablet. Best Buy has really great
for QVC.
deals right now. $100 off, plus as a student, you go to their student deals section, you get an additional $100 off this Lenovo, and the MacBook Air, you get an additional $150 off through the student discount. So even if you don't need it, but you have a college student at home.
Thanks, Andrea. My daughters are watching, particularly my teenagers.
What about the MacBook? Is that also a deal?
Yeah, that's another deal. You get another $150 off as a student discount. Now, T-Mobile's also offering a buy one, get one deal on a lot of different smartphones. So that LG, you'll buy one and get a credit of up to $750. So if you have two kids going off to school, college maybe, that's a great way to save money on those items because unfortunately you probably want to stay in touch with them, right? So you have to splurge on these.
Do you get a deal if they break the screen?
You know what? You can get it repaired. So don't spend more on that. And then, of course, these things are expensive, so also shop secondhand. Sites like Facebook Marketplace have really great deals locally on these types of items.
Good advice.
Andrea Warrock, thank you very much. Even if they have to go back, at least we got these great deals.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And you're expecting number 2.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Thank you.
All right, still ahead on the show, Geraldo Rivera, Candace Owens, Dr. Sebastian Gorka, and Charles Payne, all here live. Another big 2 hours to go on a Fox and Friends Saturday.
He's going to be in Ohio tonight, touting a record high number of Americans employed in the month of July.
My administration is committed to giving every American the opportunity to find a great job and have a rewarding career. There's nothing like it.
Authorities remaining tight-lipped about the search for missing Iowa student Molly Tibbetts.
I understand this is frustrating. This is necessary for our investigation.
We're all in this together. We're all trying to bring Molly back.
Chicago protesters taken to the streets Thursday, marching against the city's crime crisis and demanding Mayor Rahm Emanuel step down.
If the mayor continues to go along this path, he's just going to alienate more people. His leadership is horrible.
If this country hasn't broken your heart, then you don't love her enough. There's things that are savagely wrong in this country.
What's savagely wrong with America, in Booker's words, not mine, is the radical far left. Desperation and despair, not hope and change.
This is how we do, yeah. Chillin' laid back, street stuntin', yeah, we do it like that. This is how we do, do.
Just repeat. Katy Perry.
In honor of Pete Hegseth, this is what he listened to by his own choice coming into work today.
Look at this. No, it popped into my. This is, Katie can emulate this if she wants, but
probably better than you.
It was in my playlist. Yeah, Katy Perry. You know, you love her too, at some level, or your kids, or your grandkids. Somebody likes Katy Perry.
Especially during the summer, you're out in the pool with your kids, your friends.
Yeah, why can't we all just more love? More love.
Maybe they should play
more Kitty Bop.
Maybe they should play at President Trump's rally in Ohio.
Well, no. What does he always play at the end of his rally? Can't always get what you want.
Yeah, Rolling Stones.
Get what you need.
Yeah.
Well, and that was a message that he continues to tout. He is making the rounds. I mean, this guy's got a lot of energy. He was in Pennsylvania on Thursday night. He's going to Ohio tonight. And it reminds me, I just went to a Foo Fighters concert here in Madison Square Garden.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Yeah, and he played a lot of his old classic hits. He's one of my favorites. And the crowd goes wild. It reminded me watching him in Pennsylvania, where he takes people back to why they voted for him. He reminds them of the issues that are most important to them and why he's still out there fighting for them. And he says if we're not getting it done, it's because of obstruction. He says it's because of Democrats. It's because, I mean, he puts the blame on other people.
Sure.
But he said, I am still here fighting for this country, and I'm fighting for you, and that is why the economy is where it is.
You know why
today.
he does? He's so smart to do that, because no one else is going to do it. No, think about the flurry of news cycles every day. Russia, Manafort, Stormy Daniels, this, that, every other network doing everything they can to tear him down. And if he doesn't tell the narrative and remind people what was done to him then, what was said about him, and by reflection, said about them, said about the deplorables, said about you. If you support this president, you are the following bad things. You're saying that's not true. Here's what's actually happening. And a big part of his message, he takes on plenty of cultural issues, takes on the media, but he always said from day one, this is going to be about jobs and the economy, and I'm a businessman, and I'm going to deliver them. And Griff, it sure looks like the numbers are coming back.
I was at the rally on Tuesday, and gosh knows, I've been to dozens of these things, and history books will write about the dynamic of the rally, because it is a direct access to your commander-in-chief for the people, and that is what they want. And you're going to hear a lot today, again, about the GDP numbers, about the jobs numbers coming out. But one number that you're going to hear about tonight, I believe, is the low Hispanic numbers. Now, this is the Hispanic unemployment record. It has hit a low 4.5% unemployed. That number is very significant because, as I played a soundbite earlier, a gentleman that was a never-Trumper finally, after 18 months, came over to him. He was a veteran from 82nd Airborne. But, you know, the Hispanic community, the president has work to do in the Hispanic voters. And that certainly is going to begin to make the case that, hey, we're going to the midterms. These Republicans that are running are following, you know, my policies, my plan to make it even stronger and give you jobs. At the end of the day, you grab them by the pocketbook, you're going to follow.
The question will be, if Trump's name is not on the ballot,
oh, it's on the ballot.
Will these, but if it's not physically on the ballot, you don't see it, will enough voters get out and vote for some of these midterm candidates?
I think that's the message he's pounding home, is my name is on the ballot. Well, look at that local Republican. Whoever you're voting for, scratch it out and put Trump, because that's ultimately what the left is doing. They're scratching out their Democratic name and saying impeachment. Like that's the stakes of 2018. And that's, I think, what he needs to continue to pound home to voters.
Well,
this is a referendum on Trump everywhere.
He's going to be in Ohio tonight, and that's a state that he won, but the numbers have ticked down a little bit for Trump, and the Republican that he's going to be out helping campaign for is only, I think, a point ahead right now. So it's in a very red district. You know this better than I do, Griff, but it's going to be very telling to see how he does in that district. Even the local paper actually endorsed a Democrat for the first time in like 99 years.
Wait, the media endorsing Democrats?
Well, it's their local paper that have always gone with Republican, but they asked him a question. They said, what do you support that you don't support the president on? He said, I'm wherever he is. They said he's had a hard time differentiating himself.
No, it's a good point.
And identifying the person that he is. You want to align yourself with the president right now if you're Republican, but how do you help people understand who you are independently?
It's a good point, and you know that's perhaps an error certainly on that candidate's behalf. But what's bigger, and what Pete's talking about, you know, with president's name not on the ballot, his policies are. And those Republicans running are carrying those policies on. And, you know, one of the biggest impacted segment of America are the small business owners. They are the lifeline of America, as they say. And I talked to Wes Carnes, right? He owns a welding company. And he's in Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. Here's what he said about the president's trade policies and how it's helping him. Listen.
We're going to give Trump's policy some time to work. It will be a very short-term pain with a long-term gain. Everyone needs us to grow their economy. The trade tariffs on steel caused some of our products to go up. It leveled out. It always will. It always has. The economy's booming right now. It has taken off. It has helped my business.
This is the common sense that defeats the conventional wisdom of the elite types who say this trade war is going to cause Trump voters to leave in droves. No, they actually trust that his heart is in the right place, that as a businessman, he's willing to stare down China, which has been undercutting us for years. There are 400,000 more West Carnes today than there were the day President Trump was elected. Think about that.
380,000
manufacturing jobs created. The jobs they said would never come back, the jobs that they said were 20th century jobs. We're not going to build things in America anymore. We're not going to manufacture. 37,000 more created in July. Unemployment numbers at 3.9, another record low. This economy is humming, and supporters of this president are grateful they voted for him.
So it's not just that his message is resonating with Let's Fight for America First. It's that they feel it in their pocketbook. They feel it every day, and these small business owners realizing they can hire more people. They're more productive. It's good across the board when that happens. So the question now is, with the Democrats in the midterms in 2020, what is their economic
Shouldn't they be clapping
message?
and being like, hey, got to give it to them?
Well, no, because it doesn't help their cause. It doesn't help them win at the polls. If the economy's doing well, what is your counter argument to the economy? That puts them in a tough place, Griff.
It does indeed. And as we were all three sitting here, we played this soundbite. We're going to go back to it now. And that is Bill Maher, who is saying essentially he's rooting for Americans to suffer. Listen to this.
I feel like the bottom has to fall out at some point. And by the way, I'm hoping for it because I think one way you get rid of Trump is a crashing economy. So please bring on the recession. Sorry if that hurts people, but it's either root for a recession or you lose your democracy.
That wouldn't impact his life at all, by the way. So he can say it.
Exactly.
But where would the country be? You know, I think it's a sad place when anyone would root for a recession because you're not rooting for the country.
He's totally detached from the lives of many average people. He runs a show out in Hollywood. Where is it? L.A., I think it is. I've actually been on the show once. We should roll that tape.
I have too. It wasn't good.
Yeah. You should go back. You should go back.
I would love to go back.
Go back and take him on this. But you know, the problem with Maher is that he is a piece of this larger narrative, and it is carrying over with our politicians. Cory Booker, as we have said on this show, was a moderate, right? President Obama,
or at least he posed
got
as
into
one.
his
I think he posed as
sort
one
of
for a long time.
lame duck part of his presidency. Just as Cory Booker, Senator, came on and he took a tone and said, listen, let's work with everybody. I'm going to be a future star. He is now showing his cards that he is moving to the hard left. Listen to this.
I'm a big believer that if America, if this country hasn't broken your heart, then you don't love her enough. Because there's things that are savagely wrong in this country. There's a normalcy of injustice that we've accepted.
Which the message is far different, as Griff was saying, than what we heard just a couple of years ago from Cory Booker. He talked a lot about coming together in the middle, trying to solve problems together as a country. We had Dan Bongino on the couch just last hour, and he said it's very clear what he's trying to do here.
Yeah. It's quite obvious now he's setting up for 2020, and he has to appeal to this radical far-left base. What's savagely wrong with America, in Booker's words, not mine, is the radical far-left. I mean, there's really no component of the Bill of Rights they haven't attacked, right? Freedom of speech, Fourth Amendment. Donald Trump apparently has no right to privacy anymore. He was spied on by our government, and this happened. We have the Second Amendment constantly under attack. That's what's wrong with America.
Well, at least I don't think Cory Booker is a socialist yet. They'll all get there eventually. And you know what? If you're setting up for 2020, think about it again. The field for 2016 was set. It was going to be Romney and Jeb Bush and, Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio and Chris Christie. And then along came Donald Trump. We don't know who it's going to be, but it's going to be whoever it is that authentically connects to the base of the left, that has gone very far left. A guy like Cory Booker, I think, pretended to be a moderate for a long time. Either he's posing as a leftist, or he's coming out as one, and he was posing before. It doesn't resonate very well.
Well, and you realize the only way to get through the primary is to go all the way to the extreme. I talk to a lot of folks, and I just get their feel of how they think things are going to go in 2020. And whenever I say, do you think President Trump will win again, even if they're against the president, they say, well, who's going to beat him? And I think that is the big question, is who can Democrats put forward that can bring that party together? And Dan Bongino was talking about his mom, by the way, who is a JFK Democrat, but finds herself right now sort of in the middle without a home because there's no one in the party speaking to her because she's not all the way left. She's not a socialist.
That's a good point.
Rasmussen put his approval rating at 50, President Trump's approval rating at 50% this week, despite everything that's come out.
I haven't seen that poll many places, Pete.
No, just doesn't seem to percolate anywhere.
It's got no traction.
It's still fake news if they don't tell you about it. Just saying.
All right. Send us your thoughts, friends at foxnews.com. But we have a lot going on this morning. I do want to bring you some of those headlines, starting here. The man that was charged with killing President George H.W. Bush's former doctor shoots and kills himself, the man you can see right there, as police were closing in on him. Investigators confronting Joseph James Pappas in Houston after a massive manhunt. Police believe that he shot and killed cardiologist Mark Houseknecht last month. It may have been revenge after Pappas' mother died on the doctor's operating table more than 20 years ago. And there's this. We now know the identity of the Army soldier who died in a training accident this week. Seen right there, Army Private Jeremy Wells rushed the hospital after an incident at a small arms range at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Still unclear exactly what happened. The 19-year-old from Georgia joined the military last year as an aircraft electrician. He's been posthumously awarded the Army Commendation and Good Conduct medals. Also, this breaking overnight, President Trump responding to a letter from Kim Jong-un, a U.S. ambassador, hand-delivering the message to North Korea's foreign minister. Still unclear what it says, but it comes just days after Kim sent a letter to the White House following up on commitments that were made at that Singapore summit. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo just wrapping up a security forum in Singapore where he warned that Russia and China are violating against North Korea sanctions. Those are some of your headlines. A lot going on in the world right now.
Yeah, Russia and China. News alert, still not our friend. Okay. Another Fox News alert, a real one, an update on the search for missing Iowa student Molly Tibbetts. This is a tough one. A red shirt found that may be connected to Molly. We're live in Iowa next.
And on a lighter note, a rhino charging right into someone's SUV.
Ooh, who won?
Here's that.
Who won that battle?
Well, what happened next? We'll tell you. Stay tuned.
When my hot water heater failed, it rocked our world. We called USAA, and they greeted me as they always do. Sergeant Baker, how are you? They took care of everything A to Z. Having insurance is something everyone needs, but having USAA, that's a privilege.
Over the last 24 hours, you've finished preparing him for college. In 24 hours, you'll send him off thinking you've done everything for his well-being. But meningitis B progresses quickly and can be fatal, sometimes within 24 hours. While meningitis B is uncommon, about 1 in 10 infected will die. Like millions of others, your teen may not be vaccinated against meningitis B. Meningitis B strikes quickly. Be quick to talk to your teen's doctor about a meningitis B vaccine.
This is not a bed. It's a high-tech revolution in sleep. The new Sleep Number 360 smart bed. It intelligently senses your movement and automatically adjusts on each side to keep you both comfortable. And snoring? How smart is that? Smarter sleep to help you lose your dad bod. Train for that marathon. And wake up with the patience of a saint. The new Sleep Number 360 smart bed from $9.99. Smarter sleep will change your life.
Are you unhappy with how you're cleaning your ears? You need a solution for earwax, but drugstore remedies often don't work.
I got water in my ear, and I could hear it in there, and it wasn't coming out.
I constantly have blackout, yellow coming out of my ears.
The WaxRx ear wash system is doctor-developed and the method physicians trust the most. WaxRx is the ultimate at-home ear cleaning tool because it thoroughly removes wax and soothes your ears with a pH-conditioned formula.
It was just amazing, the difference ultimately.
5-10 minutes of your time, so easy. Anybody can do it. You could do it with kids. You could do it for yourself.
WaxRx comes with everything you need to safely, gently clean out earwax and condition your ears at home for greater comfort, fewer ear problems, and maybe even better hearing. You can have the complete reusable WaxRx system delivered to your home for less than the cost of a doctor's visit. Call now or visit buywaxrx.com. Use promo code WAX for free shipping today.
The National Shedding Service has issued a hair storm warning. When the weather gets warm, your dog and cat start shedding a hair storm. This year, be prepared, not scared, with True Touch, the amazing 5-finger de-shedding glove that quickly, gently, and effectively removes all that shedding hair as you show your pet you care.
Right now, I love True Touch because it's just like petting my dog and it's taking off a ton of hair.
It's the season for shedding, but look at all the hair that's not getting all over your house and you. True Touch is available at these fine retailers.
This is Fracture. Just upload an image, place your order, and it'll show up at your door, beautifully printed directly on glass. And this isn't just another frame, not just another canvas. This is new. This is a Fracture. Visit fractureme.com and print one today.
Fox News Channel on Sirius XM. Your favorite shows on Channel 114. Plus, every story.
Welcome back. Well, police say they are not slowing down in their search for missing Iowa student Molly Tibbetts. Search teams combing through a pig farm in Iowa after a red shirt was reportedly found near that same color. It's the same color that Molly wears to work. Well, former homicide detective and Fox News contributor Ted Williams, he is out in Brooklyn, Iowa right now with the very latest. And Ted, you have been following this so closely. First off, the news about this red shirt. What can you tell us about that?
Well, that red shirt may very well be significant. It is my understanding that someone was out cutting their lawn and they came upon a red shirt. Now, at the press conference yesterday, I asked law enforcement about this red shirt. They would not confirm or deny that they actually had the red shirt. Law enforcement, Abby, is keeping this very close to their vest. But if they do have the red shirt, what they're going to clearly do is to do a forensic test on it to try to see if there's any DNA that they could show that it was actually Molly's.
Is there information that you think the police has that they're withholding from the public? Do you think there is a lead here and they're being quiet about it? What is your sense?
I think there are numerous leads that they have. Law enforcement has received over 200 calls concerning Molly's disappearance, and they're keeping a lot of it close to their chest. She was alleged to have been wearing a Fitbit. This is when you go out exercising. It's something you wear on your arm, and it deals with your pulse and everything, but it also acts as a GPS. We understand that they are looking at the data from that Fitbit. So that's going to be also significant in this investigation.
Ted, how is the community holding up? I mean, we've had the dad and the boyfriend on this show. We've heard from her loved ones and her family, and what a close-knit town this is. They say they don't even lock their doors at night. They all know each other. How are they holding up, and how are they helping? I imagine that they're all stepping up. Is it right that her boyfriend's brother, they were supposed to go to his wedding this week? From what I read, they had to cancel that wedding, obviously, and they're all there on the ground doing whatever they can to help find Molly.
Well, you're right, Abby. I got a chance to talk to Blake Jacks. He's the brother, and he informed me that he was scheduled to have his wedding in the Dominican Republic, and because Molly has gone missing, they're not able to go. But the community itself has come together. If you look over my shoulder, you'll see this sign there that says missing, and it's about Molly. And these signs are all over these communities. I see young kids out here just giving these signs out. Everybody is trying to bring Molly home.
Yeah, the nation is watching closely. We are praying for a safe return here, Ted. Just so I can tell our viewers, if you have any information, you can contact the sheriff's office at 641-623-5679. Ted, great work out there. We are all really hoping for the best. But we'll talk to you soon. Good luck.
My pleasure.
Thanks. All right, coming up on the show, some inner city pastors, they were attacked over meeting with President Trump. One of them has a message. Don't attack him for working with the president to help others. He is joining us next. You don't want to miss that. Plus, why China is taking on Disney's new Winnie the Pooh film, and they are banning it. That is a tease. We'll tell you why coming up.
Pain mean? Joint pain could mean joint damage. Enbrel helps relieve joint pain, helps stop irreversible joint damage, and helps skin get clearer. Enbrel may lower your ability to fight infections, serious, sometimes fatal events, including infections, tuberculosis, lymphoma, other cancers, nervous system and blood disorders, and allergic reactions have occurred. Tell your doctor if you've been someplace where fungal infections are common, or if you're prone to infections, have cuts or sores, have had hepatitis B, have been treated for heart failure, or if you have persistent fever, bruising, bleeding, or paleness. Don't start Enbrel if you have an infection like the flu.
Since Enbrel, Dad's back to being Dad.
Visit Enbrel.com and use the joint damage simulator to see how your joint damage could be progressing.
Ask about Enbrel. Enbrel. FDA approved for over 15 years.
Getting to know to know all about you. Getting to like you. Getting to hope you like me.
Know how your DNA connects you to the world. Get 30% off each kit at 23andme.com or a local retailer.
So let's get to it. Protests going on right now. Things sure are heating up. Political fight back in Washington. Prices skyrocket. There is a lot of common ground. We've got you covered. It's what we do.
Every time you're online, your private information can be stolen, sold, or exploited. That's why you need NordVPN. Online protection trusted by millions of people worldwide. NordVPN uses military-grade encryption that protects your information from online tracking. In just a few clicks, you can protect up to 6 devices for just $5 per month. Don't risk being hacked. Install NordVPN at nordvpn.com/TV today.
The new prospect. Easy. Can I sit up and detail it? You can. I don't want to see a speck of
Plays
dust.
out. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Beefing up security in schools after the shooting in Parkland. Our next guest is an Army veteran who will use his skills to keep kids safe. And Johnny Football is back on the field. Johnny Manziel. So, how did he do? You'll find out. Four-wheel drive.
Yeah, the boys round here drinking that ice cold beer.
Time now for some quick headlines. The little girl from China at the center of a frantic Amber Alert was never kidnapped. She left Reagan's Washington National Airport with her parents and not strangers. It's unclear if her family told her tour group that they were picking her up. And this, fans of Winnie the Pooh are out of luck in China. The new Christopher Robin movie won't be released there.
Yes, and I need your help. I've lost all of my friends.
The White House touting employment news, promising signs of a continued strong economy.
My administration is committed to giving every American the opportunity. Some people think the bear looks like the Chinese president. Pete?
Winnie the Pooh banned, not allowed. All right, this week, President Trump welcomed faith leaders from inner cities all across the country to the White House to talk building communities and prison reform.
Thank you for your heart for all people, but particularly your leadership on the issue of prison reform and workforce development. Those are two of the biggest issues facing Alabama. Thank you for your leadership on this issue. Thank you for being compassionate and caring about all people.
But instead of focusing on the good that could have come from that meeting, our next guest says he was attacked for working and merely meeting with President Trump and for thanking him for his work on prison reform. Pastor Van Moody is also the author of the upcoming book, Desired by God, and the founding pastor of the Worship Center Christian Church in Birmingham, Alabama. And he joins us now. Pastor, thank you very much for being here this morning. Here's a bit of an example of the type of response you got on Twitter from people who were angry at you because you met with the president. This is a tweet from Angela. She said, "I'm saddened that a pastor that I've respected for several years has basically co-signed the Christian foolery that President Trump is perpetuating at Van Moody. I am very disappointed." So how, Pastor, do you respond to folks that say you never should have met with the president in the first place? You're giving your seal of approval on everything.
Well, one of the things that I've tried to live is what I teach. Population that have no voice. So I felt obligated to go to work on their behalf, particularly because this First Step Act is, I think, a step in the right direction, and it has bipartisan support. So I'm hopeful that we'll see some real movement in the area of prison reform.
I mean, Pastor, you've made it clear, though, you don't agree with the president on a number of issues. You're willing to work with him on others, yet you're being accused of effectively being complicit. And you said, hey, he does care for people, has compassion. That's based on an issue you're working on and evidence that you've seen. What does it say about the discourse of our country that you get attacked for trying to be a part of the solution, as opposed to, saying, I won't even go to the White House?
Yeah, I think it is a very sad commentary on where we are and how our cultural climate has descended to a very, very petty and low place. And I'm very concerned about that. And once again, I understand that people are hurt. I understand that people are angry. But we've got to do something with that. It is not enough for us to back away from the table and point the finger and hurl insults. We have got to come up with solutions because their lives and families that are in the balance. We cannot sacrifice people in need on the altar of our egos and our political ideologies. And so we've got to move beyond it.
You know, Pastor, we've talked a lot on this program about unemployment rate being at record lows. Black unemployment rate has gone down. Do you feel like this president has had an ear and an eye toward the black community and trying to improve their lives?
Well, I think
employment rate has gone down. Do you feel like this president has had an ear and an eye toward the black community and trying to improve their lives?
Well, I think that that's, debatable based on, people and how they read situations. Part of the reason that I went and part of the reason that I said what I said is because I do think that actions speak louder than words. And I do believe that we have an opportunity here with the First Step Act to really demonstrate and move forward in an area that has long been something that, has been neglected or forgotten about. And so I think that there's an opportunity. And once again, I think that actions speak louder than words. So if we can get movement, I think that this will go a long way towards helping marginalized and disenfranchised people.
Pastor Van Moody, part of the solution. We appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete.
All right. Well, moving on to two passengers now heroes after someone threatened to, quote, take the plane down.
He was capable of doing what he wanted to do, but I wasn't willing to sit around and find out. Somebody had to do something.
The story behind that heroic action ahead. And President Trump taking his message straight to the people this week. So what do the voters think? We've got the brand new dials from Lee Carter coming up next.
America is winning again. Last week we announced that the U.S. economy grew at 4.1% last quarter. Nobody thought that was possible.
I have a lead on the great enemy of our people. Adolf Eichmann, the architect of the final solution.
So tired of losing the weight and gaining it all back.
But I found something new. It's called Noom.
It's not a diet. It's a totally different, personalized program
that uses psychology and small goals to change your habits so that you can lose the weight
and keep it off for good.
It's super easy to get started, so what do you have to lose? Visit Noom.com today and lose the weight for good.
For small businesses, payroll is complex and time-consuming, and mistakes can mean tax trouble. Sure Payroll makes it easy to pay employees and file federal, state, and local taxes with accuracy guaranteed, all done online in minutes, and with award-winning support, even on weekends and evenings. More time for you, less time on payroll and taxes. For 1 month of free payroll, visit SurePayroll.com now or call 844-SURE-PAYROLL. SurePayroll.com.
If our feet were our hands, everyone would instantly notice the difference Carousel Intensive Foot Repair makes on dry, cracked feet. Carousel exfoliates and repairs with visible results in 1 day. See the 1-day difference. Carousel.
Not enough room in your closet? Save space with the new Wonder Hanger Max. Now bigger and 50% stronger. It's easy. Just place 5 garments in the open slots. Lift and release. Wonder Hanger Max triples your closet space for neat, wrinkle-free, organized clothes. Strong enough for 5 heavy winter coats. Or 30 pounds of golf clubs. From purses to quilts. Organize your entire wardrobe with a Wonder Hanger Max system. Enough to hold 50 garments in one closet. Get your Wonder Hanger Max today. Available at most retailers.
It's a lot easier to act presidential than to do what I do. Anybody can act presidential. Thank you very much for being here. You are tremendous people. And I will leave now because I am boring you to death. Thank you.
And entertaining.
That was just one of the highlights from President Trump's time on the road this week, taking his message straight to the people.
He is as much an entertainer as a politician. What did the voters think?
Here with the brand new dials from his Pennsylvania stop is president and partner at Mislansky and Partners, Lee Carter. Lee, always good to have you here.
Great to be here.
All right, so a lot to get to from this rally and all the rallies we've seen, and another one tonight in Ohio that we'll all be watching. But at one point, he talks about shutting down the government, something we talked about last weekend. If it's over national security, he said, I'm fighting, this is number one for me. That's right. Here's what he said.
A lot of great Republicans, well-meaning. I don't mean like they're well-meaning. They say, look, we have the best economy ever. We're doing great. Maybe we don't want to complicate it. And I understand it. You know, I'm a little torn myself. I would personally prefer before. But whether it's before or after, we're either getting it or we're closing down government. We need border security.
Look at that number spike at the very end for Republicans.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, Republicans off the chart. They are ready to shut this government down over the wall. They at the very end, when he said we're going to shut it down over border security, I would say they gave an A+. They were over the moon. They think it's time to stop, like, get something done.
What do Democrats say to that?
Democrats say, oh no, they gave this an F. Independents are somewhere in the middle. I think independents still want to see some sort of compromise here. But the Republicans are saying enough is enough. And that message really resonated with them.
I want to see that unicorn of compromise, too, but it hasn't showed up yet. That's why Republicans are so adamant.
Well, Lee, talk about the, you know, I was at that rally, and boy, the economy was a big part of it. And the president talking about, you know, his message always America first. And he talks about other countries looting our wealth. Listen to this one.
Right now, China's not too happy with me. But I have great respect for President Xi, and I have great respect for China. It's not their fault that our leaders were stupid. We got ripped off. It was a massive, massive transfer of wealth to other countries. The politicians just watched as other countries stole our jobs, plundered our wealth, and looted the crown jewels of the American economy.
It looked like when the word stupid came out, the Democrat line just fell.
Oh, it fell to the floor. There's no question.
But Republicans
love this. They gave an A. Independents a B. Democrats, I gave it a D+, even though they did go to the floor, because in the beginning, when he was talking about China, he was talking about how, you know, this is a difficult situation, and he talked about respect for the Chinese president, but he said we've got to do some work. The Democrats agree, and so I think this is the thing that's most important for people to understand. A lot of people right now, despite the fact that there is a fair amount of fear about this trade war, quote unquote, with China, there are a lot of people out there who say it's about time we're tough on China. Now, the Democrats, of course, aren't going to like it when we say their policies were stupid, because it was President Obama who was in the White House for the last 8 years, and obviously that's a reference towards him. But at the same time, I think people are really happy to see us getting tough on China.
All right, something the president is always happy to talk about is him saying we are winning again in this country, and touts the economic numbers. Here he is.
America is winning again. Last week we announced that the U.S. economy grew at 4.1% last quarter. Nobody thought that was possible. And if the Democrats got in, that number would be 1.2. It could even turn negative. It was going to go down.
You would think across the board it would be positive about the economy right now, but Democrats, even the C- is about as good as it could get.
It is about as good as it could get. And you know what? The bottom line is, the beginning, all Republicans, Independents, Democrats were on board with the message until he started attacking Democrats. Not that surprising. So you could see Republicans an A, Independents a B, Democrats there a C-. But this message on the economy is a really important one. Americans are feeling good about the economy right now. They are spending more. Our unemployment numbers are at an all-time low. People are feeling really, really optimistic. And this is going to be really important going into the midterms, because I know a lot of people right now are talking about a blue wave. I don't see that coming, especially as we're looking for non-traditional candidates who are going to try to fight for the working-class American. And that more and more seems to be the Republicans.
Well, hammer that message home, and it's an effective one for him.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll have to hit the dials. We have another rally tonight in Ohio.
We'll be there.
I bet we hear
There's a rally. Lee Carter's working.
Thank you, Lee. Good to see you this morning.
Appreciate it.
All right, turning now to some headlines this morning. 2 passengers are hailed heroes for restraining a man who threatened to take a plane down. Witnesses say that the suspect was punching windows and screaming on the Delta flight from Maine. That is when a Coast Guardsman and former corrections officer on board stepped in to help.
He was capable of doing or what he wanted to do, but I wasn't willing to sit around and find out. Somebody had to do something.
And he did. Well, the unidentified suspect was arrested when the plane landed in Atlanta. Look at this. A rhino charges at an SUV at a drive-thru.
Baby choking on a chicken nugget. Surveillance video shows the cop performing the Heimlich maneuver at a Florida mall. Baby Lucia's mom says the officer saved her child's life.
Because of you, our family is intact. And I know that you guys are angels who saved our daughter's life.
What an amazing story. Baby Lucia, she is now doing just fine. And listen to this. A determined little boy is stealing hearts as he learns how to walk. Watch this.
Look, Maggie.
I'm walking. How adorable is that? 2-year-old Roman, happy to tell his dog Maggie that he can walk with crutches. Roman was born with spina bifida, a birth defect that makes it difficult to walk. He only got those crutches last month, and as you can see, he is now walking and so excited about it.
Good.
I love that video.
Very special.
So
Beautiful.
sweet.
I hope that if a rhino goes after Rick, he'll get out of the way.
Yeah.
Rick, no rhinos out there, are there?
Don't worry, or that bison. That's the more troubling one.
Yes.
The bison, yeah. You have an umbrella. Is it raining outside, Rick?
It is raining outside. It's just starting, and it's going to get a lot worse, at least for the next couple hours. Take a look at the map, show you what's going on. We've got one big storm out there. That's Hurricane Hector. I just want to point this out. Going possibly just to the south of Hawaii, maybe around Tuesday or Wednesday. It's a major hurricane right now. Just something to watch if you're headed out in that area or if you are in Hawaii right now. Today across the mid-Atlantic and Northeast, we dry out a little bit behind the storm. We've got the rain showers moving through Jersey this morning in throughout Connecticut. It's a slow-moving system, but once it's out, we will dry out a little bit. The heat remains, however. Down across the southeast, scattered showers across parts of the central Gulf areas, parts of southwest Florida, down towards the Naples area as well. Overall, we dry out a little bit, at least for a couple of days across parts of the southeast, which will be some welcome news. In towards the northern plains, some scattered showers, some of them heavy at times, especially across parts of Minnesota, and finally out across the west. The heat continues and the dry. 114 in Yuma. It's hot. All right, guys. That's it.
Rick, you got to share your umbrella a little bit. It's too much.
I'm sharing it right here.
Yes,
In fact, we're giving it to you because it's her birthday today.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday. Enjoy your time here in New York.
Awesome.
There you go.
Weatherman.
Very kind of you.
Thank you, Rick.
All right. Well, the media trying to make Trump's booming economy sound like bad news.
157,000, which is somewhat healthy, but also disappointing.
This is not the strongest gain we've seen. Wage growth remains stagnant.
But what's the real story? Charles Payne says it was a remarkable month for jobs. He's here live next with the truth.
Plus, believe it or not, it is already time for back to school. We're going to show you what every college student needs to turn that dorm room from drab to fab.
Give it a month, it'll be back drab again.
Unbelievable.
You might take something for your heart or joints, but do you take something for your brain? With an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish, Prevagen has been shown in clinical trials to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
Online dating? I know people meet that way, but where would I even begin?
Open laptop? Go to OurTime.com. Look for free. It's easy to take a look on Our Time, the fastest growing dating site for people over 50.
The day after chemo might mean a trip back to the doctor's office, just for a shot. But why go back there when you can stay home